and welcome to Celebrating Women and Wealth. I'm hoping that you made it here because for some reason, some aspect of money is driving you crazy. It's stressful, you're overwhelmed, you're afraid of it. It's keeping you from doing the things that you really want to do in your life, like taking care of your family if you have one, taking care of yourself, planning for your retirement, planning for your current day-to-day activities. I know lots of women. I'm a girl, I have lots of girlfriends. You're probably a girl, you probably have lots of girlfriends. We just do this, differently than men. At least most of us do. And so many of my girlfriends, whether they make a lot of money or they don't, whether they have great jobs or they have jobs they hate, I swear that all we talk about is money. And it drives me nuts that it has to be this way. I have such a hard time watching the women in my life be stressed about money, and it is painful beyond belief. My name is Elisabeth, and the reason I'm doing what I'm doing is because for years, actually since 2002, I have taught kids and teens about money and investing. And I do it in this playful way with a game called the Money Game, which you'll get to experience, and in just with all kinds of activities and playful ways that we teach. All right, it's not just sit down and write a bunch of notes. Right, that is so boring. It bores me to death. Many years ago, I started a program called Creative Wealth for Women, and I did women's programs for 3 years. I loved them. The women loved them. The comments I got were amazing, and the testimonials and the feedback from people, women who said, oh my gosh, it changed my life. I didn't know this about money. I had no idea that most of it was in my head. I had no idea. I didn't even have an inkling of how to think about it. Now, the real reason I stopped doing those programs is because I was so overwhelmed. You know what I mean? Overwhelmed. I was so overwhelmed. And as women, we tend to get overwhelmed more often than men for some reason. At least that's my understanding of overwhelmed. And I couldn't do the women's programs and the kids' programs and the teens' programs and everything I was doing. So we decided to rein back what we were doing, go back to our roots, which were the kids and teens. But I can't stand it anymore. I have to come back to women's programs. So Celebrating Women and Wealth is my gift to you. Our first weekend event is March 12th and 13th in 2016. I want you there. If you want to learn about money in a huge way, like just blowing the top off things that you, number one, thought you knew, but maybe they're a little bit different, things that you don't even know that you don't even know yet. And I just want you to experience money in a different way. See, most of us believe, for whatever reason, that it takes a lot of money, like big time millionaires, right? We read books and we see movies and videos and articles on the internet and everything about how to be millionaires, right? But what if you just want to be happy where you are right now? I mean, you can't wait until you're a millionaire to be happy and content and peaceful with money, right? I mean, I suppose you could, but to me that seems like a waste of a lot of days. So in the program, we teach you a whole new way of becoming peaceful and a lot less stressed with the money in your life. We're going to be talking about things like the 6 M's of money is what I call it. The first one is minding your money, and I don't mean like minding it, doing what it says, which is what a lot of people feel like. I mean the things that are going on in your brain. I mean, you've got to understand what your core beliefs and the belief systems. If you're familiar with that, a belief system is all the things that you believe about money. And if you have an understanding that what you believe is what you see, and what you believe is what comes true, and what you bring into your life, believe it or not, then you understand why minding your money is the most important thing. It's the number one first thing you have to address is minding your money. And we're going to talk a lot about that in the weekend event. The second part is making money. All right? Making money. Making money is different than earning money. Okay? We're going to talk about that, and when you leave the event, you'll absolutely know, and there's articles that I've already written. You see, earning money Earning money is when you do what we call trading your time and your energy for money, and you get a paycheck, right? You never get paid for that hour or that week or that month again. Making money, however, is when you can put your time and your energy and your money and maybe somebody else's money into a product or a program or whatever, where you can make money over and over and over and over, right? That's the kind of money you make when you're on vacation or when you're asleep. And I make that kind of money, and it's wonderful. Now, I do earn some money as well, but I really prefer making money, and we want to show you what that looks like. The third thing is managing all of this money, all right? Most people don't have a clue what to do with it. They get it in, they put it in their pocket, they spend it, or either putting it in their accounts, of course, they're spending it on all kinds of things, and with no system. So we're going to introduce you to a system for managing your money that makes it so you can always have money for the things that you need and the things that you want, and help you at the same time plan for your future. Now, the next thing is multiplying. Now, multiplying your money has to do with taking the amount of money that you're making, right? And taking a piece of that we're going to teach you in the managing part, and doing what we call investing it into an asset. It's kind of a little playful thing that we do in our camps, and the kids love it. Well, an asset, there's 3 of them, all right? We teach something called the 3 pillars of wealth, and it's real estate, business, and the stock market. We're going to give you a little understanding of all of those 3 investment types. And again, they're called assets. Now, the 5th one is called mending. Now, most people call it donating or charity work or giving back. The reason we chose mending is because women, on average, we tend to donate and give and do a lot more with a bigger piece or bigger percentage of our money than men do for some reason. And the funny thing is, we just don't generally need our name on the building either. We just kind of do it quietly. And I call that mending. Because when you're making more money than you need every month to live, you can take this nice little hunk of money, okay? Of course, this already accounts for that you're putting money away for later, or maybe it is later, and you can take this chunk and you can go out and mend parts of your community. And that's why I use the term mending. Now, the last piece, that's number 6, right? The last piece is mentoring. Now, I know programs where I've been to that you come into them and they make you sign a non-disclosure because they don't want you to teach people what they're teaching you. That's not how I want to do this program. It's not how I want to do any of the information. I want you, like almost demand of you, it's required to take the information that you learn in our program and go teach as many women, men too, of course, but go teach the young girls and the teens and the 20-something and 30-second, all the women in your circle. Get together and have circles, right? Have little teas or whatever it is you want to do, and teach them what you learn. Take your notes, take your photos, take whatever you want to do, right? And teach the people, the women especially, in your circles about money. That is the mentoring part, all right? That's the mentoring part. So let's go over them again. We have the minding part. We have the making part, which is different than the earning part. We have the managing part. We have the multiplying part. We have the mending part. And then finally, we have the mentoring part, the 6 M's of money. And you are going to understand these when you leave our program. We're so excited. Consider, please, that if you don't do anything, right? If you don't change what you're doing, there's a little saying that goes like this. If you always do what you've always done, you always get what you've always gotten. All right, that's how it goes. And the thing is, if in a year from now you haven't done anything, you haven't learned anything, you haven't put any systems into place, you haven't changed how you think, you haven't changed how you manage, you haven't changed how you're mentoring, haven't changed any of these things about money, you're going to be in the same position you are now, or worse, heaven forbid. And I don't want that. I have coached so many women over the years. I have taught so many young girls, and those 3 years of the women's programs that I did before, and I have to say, I run into them now, and they're so overjoyed. Still, to this day that they learned that information. And you can too. It's not hard, it's fun, it's playful. You're going to do it in a big group of other women, which is great. Because you see, one of the things I have learned also is that you and I mean, if you're a woman, if you're a man that loves a woman, that's great too. But women on the average, we generally, and I call these generalizations, and it's a funny little word you can use, generalizations. We generally look at money differently than men. We learn about money differently than men. It means so much more to us. Well, not so much more, but it means different things, okay? You see, money to us means security and freedom. And it means different things to men. And that's one of the other things that we're going to go over in the program, so that you can actually, if you're in a partnership or relationship with a male person, you can see why he does the things that he does with money. Because you'll be able to put on your new little glasses, because you'll have a shift in paradigm, I say, and you'll be able to see what he's doing with new lenses. And then it'll make sense. I promise you it'll make sense. Because when I learned this stuff, and I've been learning it over the years, it really helps me understand what the heck that other sex is doing. Anyway, that's all I want to say. Really want you to come join us. It's going to be fun. It's going to be playful. There's going to be other women. We're going to support each other, and we're going to learn, and we're going to get down and have a good time, and we're going to laugh at ourselves, and we're going to laugh at society, and we're going to play, and you're going to leave this event with this huge aha. And our goal is for you to leave peaceful, a little less overwhelmed, and with a lot of tools in your financial tool belt, and women have them too, so that you can go out and do money differently. I cannot wait to meet you and help you live a less stressed, more peaceful financial life. Thanks again. Bye-bye.